everyone, and welcome to Random Number Generation, the GDQ Hotfix show about randomizers and the runners behind it. I'm Skybilz, your host, and this is episode 91, Kingdom Hearts 2 Randomizer with Zach the Robot. Before we get started here, we do have a few announcements here on behalf of Games Done Quick. As you all may know, folks have been talking about this in chat. Awesome Games Done Quick 2024 starts this weekend, Sunday, January 14th. Come watch a week of runs broadcast live from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, benefiting the Prevent Cancer Foundation. Go to gamesdonequick.com/hotfix to learn more about our shows and check out our schedule. And speaking of our schedule, we have some exciting events coming up in February. Join us February 17th and 18th for a celebration of Black speedrunning talent and Black joy, because unapologetically Black and Fast is back. Use the command !UBAF in chat for more information. And we also have GDQ's next all-women and femme speedrunning event, Frost Fatale, which is coming up March 3rd through the 10th. The schedule is now out. Use !FF in Twitch chat to learn more. And with that being said, Alia, Zach, how are y'all doing? Welcome to the show.
I'm doing well. This is going to be a fun time.
Yeah, I'm excited. Thanks for having us.
Of course, of course. So, we've had Kingdom Hearts 2 Rando before. We've never had Chain Logic, or at least it's even been a while since we've had Kingdom Hearts 2 Rando here. So if y'all want to start talking about the flag set a little bit and what folks can expect upon watching Kingdom Hearts 2 Rando, especially the Chain Logic set.
Sure. So in case you haven't seen this before, the Kingdom Hearts 2 Randomizer is built around a mod that puts all of the Kingdom Hearts worlds in Kingdom Hearts 2 into the Garden of Assemblage with all the doors. So we can go to any world at any time. Our experience curves are like jacked up a little bit, so we're going to gain levels a little faster. Our stats are going to be a little bit better than normal. We can get any of the tools that we have at any time. As far as the specifics for Chain Logic, it kind of works like if you've heard of spheres before in randomizers. Kingdom Hearts 2 doesn't normally have like a lot of spheres where you have to get X to Y to Z to A to B. Chain Logic forces that. So every single thing that locks checks in the game is going to be placed like breadcrumbs that lead us to our proofs, which are what we need to actually beat the game. So we have to do almost all the content in order to finish this scene.
How do you feel about that? I mean, let me ask you this. I always ask folks to pick their categories, right? What made you choose Chain Logic for this, Zach? I'm curious before we get started.
So this was something that I ended up working on and adding to the generator. I do a lot of work on the generator for Kingdom Hearts 2, so this was kind of just like, this seems cool. I could probably do it. It worked out really well. I really enjoyed how it ended up working, and I ended up doing a lot of practice for it. So it was kind of my go-to of like, okay, you invited me onto this. I could do this setting. Not a lot of people have seen it. This seems like a very good showcase.
All right, well, I'm very excited to get this underway. We're going to be having a lot of discussion throughout, too. So, chat, if you do have any questions, please let us know. I'm going to be providing both access to Zach's Twitch information as well as our wonderful commentator here, Alios's information. So, again, please be sure to give both of these wonderful folks a follow. And with that being said, go ahead on your account, Zach.
All right, then we will start in 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck and have fun. So, let me ask you this. I love asking this one at the beginning. And this is for both of y'all. What don't you want to see starting out here?
I don't want to see access to Hollow Bastion right away.
Yeah, that's
because
probably
that
the
means
worst.
I might have to do a super boss early.
Yeah, he's going through it real quick, but you're going to notice he's starting with level 2 of all the movement as well, so that we can just get going and get moving as quickly as possible. As well as, I believe, Scan and Guard?
Yep. So, the way that Chain Logic works, this left chest is going to be the first thing on our chain, which is Limit Form. So now I need to level Limit Form to get my next unlock.
Yeah, and there's going to be...
We're just going to kind of follow that all the way through.
Yeah, there's going to be one unlock for each world, plus each individual page for the 100 Acre Wood is going to be a lock, as well as each of the drives count for 1. So there's going to be one more item on Limit Form when we level it up that will unlock a world or another page or another form, and we'll just start following those breadcrumbs It's a really linear type of like gameplay style, but it also means that you have to do content out of the order you'd regularly want to do it on. You may have to get sent to, like you said, Hall of Bastion 2 really early, which has a high battle level, and you don't want to do it too quickly if you're unprepared.
Otherwise, we're going to be kind of doing the traditional start.
There.
Going into Pride Lands.
Back off.
There is a RNG manipulation for this fight to always get the reaction command for that enemy. And as long as your party members do their job, it is safe to do this.
Yeah, you essentially just hold up and left on the left stick, you mash the reaction command to get on its back immediately, slam it into the air, and then pray that Donald and Goofy do their job.
Every time
We do this world early because there's a lot of checks that you can get basically for free after that first fight. Since we don't start with a lot combat-wise, we want to kind of just get a bunch of stuff early.
Can I just say shoutouts to Goofy's running animation?
Yeah,
Spinning turtle.
I love it. It's so cute.
I was trying to catch you.
But yeah, I want to elaborate here on what Zach and Alios were saying here. If you are going to start doing Kingdom Hearts 2 Randomizer, you do want to start here in Pride Rock for many, many, many reasons. There's a lot of chests to find. It's fairly accessible from the beginning. That was what I was told too when I did my first one, so I'm glad y'all brought that up.
Yeah, all you have to learn is that one, manipulation at the start, and you're free to go. I mean, you can see I'm just sprinting through this area. Opened up like 8 chests already.
So yeah, we're just going to be grabbing some stuff. You might notice that these chests are colored differently. We're using a setting that changes the outside appearance of the chest based on what's inside of it. If you played like Zelda Ocarina of Time Randomizer, it's kind of like chest size matches contents. If we change the size of these chests, it would take forever to open them. So we just changed the textures.
Yeah,
Oh,
for the-
and this hadn't even occurred to me till now. Someone in chat was bringing up the fact that Lion Sora is really good for movement when you have no abilities, and that hadn't really dawned on me. So that's, again, we're still trying to go fast here, right? Even though it's a randomizer, it is a speed run of sorts still. So anyways, go ahead. What were you saying?
Well, as a quality of life as well, the Garden of Assemblage mod gives you his lion sprint earlier than you normally would. Which is another reason why it's so good. It's like you just immediately can start sprinting around. You're not having to just slowly walk places.
Yeah, so we found a Reflect here. We were talking before going live that Reflect is one of those underrated abilities that a lot of casual playthroughs did not use, but it is very good.
Where do you plan on leveling up Limit Form now? Are you going to just do that during the shotgun, or are you going to focus on it?
I'm going to try to fit it in just somewhere in this initial shotgun phase where we're collecting a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, for those of you that might not know...
Probably try to do it in, like, Halloween Town.
That's probably the best place. It's good EXP in Halloween Town as well. They're not too hard to defeat there. But for those that might not know, when we use the term shotgun, what we mean is going to every location that's easily, easy to get through in these early worlds without needing to, like, do a lot of forced combat or do combat that requires us to have, like, you know, a large amount of stats to get through them. So things like the opening to Pride Lands, opening to Agrabah, you can see it's just an empty room with a bunch of chests in it right now. So doing this early is going to give us a lot of movement. It's going to give us, hopefully, a lot of abilities before we have to start worrying about, like, you know, major bosses.
So I was able to skip a chest there because the color of it said it was not useful.
Yeah, any of the black and silver ones are just going to be, essentially, it's like synthesis items and maps and things that aren't really incredibly important. There are accessory items in there, but if you already have some and you don't need more, then you can essentially just fly by them.
So I was thinking about this earlier because someone had mentioned something earlier in chat. Now, bigger chests are a thing in this game. Like, they're usually, what, the map in vanilla? How come that's not used from a tech standpoint for this? Because I feel like the chest size matches contents. Could be interesting. Is it because of the animation? Like, there's usually this big glorious thing?
Yeah.
That's what I figured.
There's a big animation. It does get used for proofs.
Okay.
The final items. So if there's a proof in a chest somewhere, we will get to see it.
That is specifically with these settings with the unique visuals as well. We don't use the big chest in the base rando, only because we don't want to give you hints of what's inside of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, we're still kind of getting all these free checks. We got a fire. That'll be helpful.
Combination
We
boost is
also
really
got
good.
Combo Master, which is very nice.
Oh wow, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of the tools we use for certain like cheesing a boss, or at least getting them in a loop, Combo Master is huge.
So I have to know, Zach, where's the pop-off here? Like, what item do you open up that gets you to pop off here early?
At this point, magnets. Or a crowd control option where I can go into a battle and not have to worry about somebody coming from behind me and just like smacking me in the face.
Yeah, we actually got really lucky getting Final Form. Oh, and there's Second Chance as well. That's great. That's an extra life, essentially.
That's actually pop-off.
Yeah. No, and Limit Form is crazy good. We can use that to heal ourselves. It can refill our mana bar. It can be used to like get out of a tight bind. Either that or Final Form early essentially makes the seed like super safe because it's an extra life. And now that we have Second Chance, we have a life on Second Chance. We can go into Limit Form and heal. We have another life when that health bar goes down. So we're super safe.
All right, so I think this is the time I'm going to level up Limit Form and see what our next chain item is going to be. So after we get through the force fights in this world, I will level Limit Form up and we will see what's what.
Yeah, and hopefully once we get another one, it'll be a bit more straightforward on understanding like what these, world lock items are and how they work in the chain logic settings.
Yeah.
I think the only world we have disabled is Simulated Twilight Town?
Yes. We will
Okay.
not be having to play as Roxas today.
Darn.
I believe Spike calls that either jail or prison for a reason. Like, it's just really difficult to manage from what I can understand in the scope of the randomizer.
It's gotten a lot better where you can now use magic and Limit Form in there. So, like, it's not as bad as it used to be, but in the past, it was a world that if you entered, you could not leave until you finished it, which is where jail comes from.
Gotcha.
Yeah, over the years, we've given a lot more leniency within those types of worlds, because it used to be, oh, well, we don't want to add the ability to leave, because in the base game, you couldn't go to the gummy ship until you were Sora, right? But when you're stuck there for, 15, 20 minutes, half an hour, depending on your playstyle, it gets kind of rough every time you gotta go in.
So, Alios, there's an emote. I know the folks watching on YouTube probably will not be able to see this, but there's an emote of Alios displaying the simulated Twilight Town jail, and I'm really glad somebody posted that, because that's priceless.
Yeah, anyone who knows me knows that STT is my least favorite world, and no matter the race, I'm not gonna go in it. So if it's you versus me, take your chance if you want to go in or not, because you might lose 15 minutes. No, I'm not gonna.
So you're talking about races. I assume you both have been involved in previous Kingdom Hearts 2 rando tournaments?
Yes.
Very cool.
Yeah, Zach has had a bit more success than me, I think, but we've both been around for at least 3 years now, participating within that community. And Zach is, our seed generator developer guy, so he's really been deep in it.
So, question from the chat: are we going to be having any Finny fun tonight?
No, so that is the other world that's off.
Ah, they're gonna be so disappointed when they find out about that.
Give me strength.
All right, so let's level Limit Form and blow past that.
Oh.
Okay, so we got Wisdom Form.
Oh, wow.
Very nice.
But now, Wisdom Form unlocks more stuff for us.
So each of the form levels, the maximum you can go to is controlled by how many forms you already have, right? So we had one form, and it starts at level 2, so then you get up to 3. Now that we have 2 forms, they can both be up to level 4. The check that we're looking for is guaranteed to be at or before level 4 for either of these forms now. So
it can be on Wisdom 2, 3,
yeah,
or 4, or on Limit 4.
right.
So that's why I'm heading to Disney Castle here, because there's a lot of these shadows that spawn, and that effectively makes leveling Wisdom Form very easy, because Wisdom Form levels off with killing Heartless.
Yeah, and we already have fire as well, so it's going to be like, this will take 3 seconds. We've increased the multiplier for EXP for the forms as well, because anyone who's played the base game knows it's a bit of a slog to get through those levels sometimes. We're sitting here for an hour trying to get to Wisdom 7, and there we go, we're already at level 2.
Yeah, we got Scimitar.
Oh, wow.
And Thunder and Blizzard. Oh my god, Zach,
That's a
what
lot.
have you rolled?
That's good.
Well, so now we have to go to Agrabah 2.
Okay, well,
Zach,
ooh.
you don't sound thrilled right now. Like, if I could have like a scale of like 1 to 10 on how your reaction was there, you look like your avatar that I can see here in Discord. You don't look very amused right now, or seem amused by that.
Yeah, so Agrabah 2 has Genie Jafar, and Genie Jafar is...
It's Genie Jafar. That's what it is. Oh boy. Yeah, you're right, because so the way that some of these settings work as well is Agrabah 2, you have to have a Thunder, a Blizzard, and a Fire in order to do the game where you're flying on the magic carpet. Well, you guys will see it when we get there. But what that means is, in the logic of the seed, you have to be able to get all 3 of those magics when you get the Agrabah 2 unlock, which is why we just got Scimitar and then Blizzard and then Thunder, like, all in a row, right? So now we actually can go in and do it. But at these stats, you know, we're really early in the game, and that's a late game world in the base one. So it's not going to be easy.
It's over.
I remember not being a fan of late Agrabah in general. Like, even this room is not as easy as it looks here, as Zach is making very quick work of this.
To be fair, I am using Limit Form, which you would not have here.
Alright, that's fair, that's fair.
Limit Form is kind of like the cheat button. It's like, I really don't want to worry about this right now, so I'm going to go into the OP Final Mix Plus form that lets me do whatever I want.
I'm more worried about this next fight.
Yeah, so the next room is going to be a wave of, I believe it's like 50 different Heartless that are all going to come at you. It's like 10 at a time or so. And if you die, you have to come back out and do it all over again. So, you know, I don't think we have Magnet. We have Reflect, which is nice. It's a small room, so there's not a lot of space to move. So the question is really going to be, you know, Limit Form won't last that long because the finisher is going to drain your drive bar and it's going to hit 10 enemies. So that's going to go out quick. So the question is, how do we get around all of them without like wasting all of our resources too early? It's a great way to do it. You start with the jump into a Reflect because they're going to enter the center of the room and do a little like AoE attack. Now he's just going to get rid of all the small Heartless first, trying to save his drive, I assume. He may also go through using Reflect for the final 3 Heartless that show up in big... I don't know, what are their names, Zach? Do you know?
I believe they are Fat Bandits.
Yeah, the big guys are going to blow fire.
Okay, I know that gave credit to the form, but I'm sorry. Even with this form, I don't know if I could do this. Zach, this is looking really fun. Look at that!
I went into the wrong form, but it's okay.
Even more so! That just... Wow.
Have we commented on the fact that the form was yellow and Sora is green and purple?
Oh, we don't have to talk about that.
No. No, you're right. You're right.
No,
That's the regular colors, I'm pretty sure.
Yes, totally regular. No, we're really the version of the randomizer I'm using right now has an experimental texture recoloring that will be hopefully rolling out in the near future. But yeah, so Sora, the party members all have different like color schemes. All right, so Agrabah 1's boss will split into these like, tiny enemies when you hit HP thresholds. Trying to hit Reflect on these pools, but base Reflect is not very wide.
A bit too small to get on them without getting yourself hit at the same time. What really matters here is that you have to defeat all the small heartless that come out before they respawn in. And so you end up going, you do the Ice Lord, then you kill the small ice cubes, you do the Fire Lord, you kill the small lava dudes, and you have to go back and forth. With a large reflect, you end up hitting like all of them all the time, and it's super, super fast. But without reflect or with a small one, it gets kind of finicky if you want to go fast at least. But yeah, that was a clean fight as well. Are you gonna go right back in? Or are you gonna say?
But we're gonna go right back in.
All right.
So this is the area that was unlocked by the scimitar that we got on Wisdom.
Yes, it'll lock all of Part 2. So any of the items we get for these worlds will be Part 2. Anyone who's played like the Archipelago will know that Part 1s are also locked, but for this version, we're only doing Part 2s.
So we have now gotten onto Carpet.
Carpet is a special section of this game. You get a slightly different set of moves when you're on the carpet. They're mainly aerial attacks, just because of the it's a 3D vertical space instead of being directly on the ground. Without Magnet, this can be a bit dangerous. These are high-level enemies. Zach is going to be at the floor or below it in terms of stats. In terms of the floor, the way this game does, like how it determines damage is based off your stats compared to the minimum stats of like the enemies in the world. So if you're below those stats, you're always doing damage as if you were level 1. If you're above whatever the minimum is, it'll increase based off of how far up above it you are. Do you know the minimum for here, Zach? Are you even close to it?
I believe it's 30. So my strength value, which you can see below the game, is 33. So my base combo hits are doing more damage than minimum, but my magic is very low. So
we're keeping on physical damage then. These guys can be really scary because each wave is like larger and larger enemies. And these guys will more or less one-shot him. If he didn't have second chance and they hit him, he's probably going to, he would die. Like right there, he's at 1 health from second chance. And yep, those fireballs will stay there even after the reflect, and they'll kick you right as you get out of it.
All right, well, we'll give this 1 or 2 more tries. If I start struggling a little bit, we'll go and find other stuff. Come back, because there's a lot more like free checks I could go and get, and maybe find some better tools. Maybe level up a couple more times. Right now, I don't have the crowd control options that I was mentioning earlier. I don't have a magnet.
Magnet would be really big for here if we have to go anywhere else and look for it.
So we're talking about spears and logic. Would magnet be considered in logic or not logic for this, or does that not matter? Because I feel like that would be pretty pivotal to the combat here, as you were saying.
So it's not logically required currently.
Yeah, in terms of like, wow, he got you from behind too. Wow.
Yep.
But in terms of logic, the only items in logic are going to be hard requirements to enter a location. When I was saying the magic had a requirement earlier, that's because there's a minigame after this where you have to use a magic on these like spinning orbs that will unlock the door to leave the area. And if you didn't have them, you couldn't progress any farther. But magnet, there's nothing in the game that's like, if you don't have magnet, you can't move past here. So we don't have that in logic yet.
Atlantica is the place where that is.
There's the one,
like you said earlier, Atlantica.
I don't know if any fun, it doesn't really exist for me at least, so I don't know.
Y'all don't like the... I know there's complications with streaming it, right? Like Chad was talking about the MCA and whatnot. Is that like the only reason why it's just like something runners just don't want to deal with?
It's mainly because it's a lot of time doing nothing.
Yeah, it adds up really quickly. You wouldn't think it's a problem, but like if you want to run more than 2 a day, an average seed in KH2 randomizer, you're looking anywhere between 1 hour to up to 3 or 4, depending how quick you are. And Atlantica is another 10 minutes on top of that every time you go through it if you have to, right?
Yeah. It's a shame that Kingdom Hearts 1's Atlantica can't be integrated because that was an actual stage.
Yeah, that one was really good.
You had actual control sort of there in combat.
we were talking about Atlantica through the minigame here, but you could see he was using the magic on the specific colored orbs. There's 3 of them. When he's done, it's going to unlock the door in the tower here. He goes up and into it, and we're done with this section, thankfully.
Yeah.
There's going to be 2 chests
All
in
right.
this room. Hopefully it's got what we want. And we're done.
All right.
It does.
No Jafar.
Awesome. Jafar would have been awful right now. So we're actually really glad that we didn't have to go in there. What did we pick up? What was that?
We got Battlefields of War, which unlocks OC, Olympus Coliseum.
And, the opener OC is still available. It's not a bad idea just to head in at the very minimum.
Yeah, I was looking to see if there were magnets somewhere that were accessible, but it's okay.
Yeah, normally Magnet would be best for the Hades escape coming up. There's just so many small enemies, and Hades is throwing fireballs at you. And if you stay too long, it's gonna get spicy.
But for the randomizer, I gave myself the Olympus Stone, which lets me use drive points in Olympus,
Oh, look
which
at
is
that.
not something you could do in the vanilla game.
No,
So I
yeah.
can use Limit Form and Wisdom Form in Hades Escape.
Yeah, you are still limited to some of the, you got to do the worlds in order, in the rooms in order, at least within these settings. So it's nice that we can have some things that kind of break out of that loop, with like the stone and, when we were able to give Roxas, Sora's movement and magic in STT, that was really big as well. Because playing as Roxas is purposefully kind of slow and not as fun as playing as Sora, so it hurts to go in there every time, you know?
So we had a question from the chat. Is it possible that you go through an entire seed and you don't find the magnet at all, or is it going to be required somewhere?
That's it.
It is entirely possible we do not find a magnet.
That's it.
I would say it's unlikely, but
Yeah.
it is possible.
Given these settings, and we're going to have to go through like 95% of the content, I'm pretty sure we're going to see one. But in like a regular rando seed without like the chain logic, oh yeah, I mean, you could go and get the 3 proofs really quick and just run straight to the world that never was. And then, you won't have any of the extra tools, but that's you got to make a trade-off of time versus tools. Do you need a magnet to finish the game? Well, maybe not. It just depends on the playstyle. Which, that's really the main thing that draws people to the randomizer, I think, is you have so much freedom in your tools within Kingdom Hearts 2 in particular. Nothing is required, technically, to beat the game beyond Sora's base movement and his base toolset. Unlike other randomizers where you have to pick up like the hook shot to go through like a certain dungeon or whatever, in Kingdom Hearts 2, I could pick up nothing, never level up, only have his base moveset, and still be able to defeat every boss in the game. It wouldn't be easy, but if you're that good and you want to show off and it'll speed up your run in like a race, people will do it.
All right, so Cerberus. In the speedrun, you die to Cerberus. But here, we're just going to go limit form. Use Ragnarok,
Oh no.
and he's dead.
Oh well.
Well, I blinked, and that was it. That was that.
Yeah. I like those blue shoes. Stylish.
Oh yeah, very good.
That limit form is really, really good, and you're not supposed to be able to get it this early. So being able to use it on like, early game bosses is actually a lot of fun. You can just blow people up.
I do want to remind folks, too, that in terms of most randomizers we feature on the show, there are settings of all kinds available. If you're brand new to this, there are beginner-friendly settings, there's intermediate-friendly settings, and then there's the more expert settings as well. So, depending on your level of familiarity with the game, there's probably a set that favors whatever playstyle you choose to use. So, again, if this looks a little bit difficult, it's understandable. I mean, Zach's been doing... How long have you been doing Kingdom Hearts 2 Randomizer? Probably for a while, if I were to guess.
Since September 2020. It's been a while.
Yeah, and I started in December, so we're some of the long-term fellas.
Oh, by the way, those urns drop more orbs.
More quality of life.
You can just end that minigame quickly.
Rando players for Kingdom Hearts 2 at least are, we're a little bit impatient. And so all the mini games that keep us from playing as Sora and beating up bad guys, we're making it shorter. We're skipping it. There was a section in Agrabah 2, if we had left that tower, that you normally would have to do a minigame where you fly the magic carpet all the way back to the city. It's a big pain in the booty, and it's not the most exciting time, so we have a setting where you can disable that as well. And, we just like to get straight into the game, straight to the bosses, and kind of show off our skills, like in combat.
I like what was just said in chat by Technician. You also don't need to speedrun a randomizer.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just play it.
Yep. There was also another question here. Is there a setting to start with free items, like Magnet 1, for example, if you want to start out with something like that?
So currently we're not letting people start with like magnets and magics and stuff, but like abilities you can start with. There's like a certain curated
Dance,
set.
water, dance.
That is something that's on like the to-do list to improve in the future. It's just not the way it is.
There are mods you can install externally as well, that are very similar to the way that we do this, that you could give yourself it. But yeah, it's currently, I don't think it needs a magic,
Give me
right?
strength. Fire.
I will say, as someone who's played this on a couple different settings, I encourage folks to pick up this randomizer. It's a lot of fun, and I would say the maybe base requirement to do this, maybe try to beat the game casually once. Doesn't matter what difficulty, but play through the base game first. Unless you've maybe done Kingdom Hearts 1, that's a pretty easy segue into that, but at least try to have some familiarity with Kingdom Hearts before starting.
I agree with that.
Yeah, thankfully the worlds are fairly linear. So you enter a world, you go forward, and you kind of can't get too lost.
Yeah.
So if you're not entirely used to the game's layout, you can kind of figure out your own way. Although, yeah, I think you should play through the base game for sure. My first rando run was like super beginner settings. It took me like 6 hours still. Like when you're just not used to it, it'll take you really, really close to what the base game's time would. But it's always a good time no matter what, because again, you have access to so many tools you wouldn't normally have access to, and so the game can be as easy or hard as you want to make it. You decide like how you want to play. That's the greatest part.
Yeah, there's weighted settings where you can make sure that a lot of the good stuff gets given to you early, so you don't have to do as much hard content. You can turn content off, like the super bosses. You can just make sure they're off.
Hey, Sora!
Yeah, there's lots of variability there.
Another question here, will there be a yeeting of the bear this season?
So, yes, actually.
All right.
Because every page locks more content, we need to get to Starry Hill before we can finish the scene.
So there you
And
go.
there is a chance that the item that is locked in Starry Hill is not on the yeet checks, but I'm a bear eater. I will eat the bear check.
For the
We should all strive to be bear eaters in our daily lives, I think. Now, normally in this fight, I don't think you'd have thunder, would you? You get it from the fight.
Yeah.
It makes it very easy.
Normally this is your first thunder.
There's a reason why you don't have it in the base game, but the rando lets you do whatever you want, and that is, you just go through it.
For the record, I do have Thundaga. I have all 3 thunders.
You were hitting very hard.
Yes, except my magic is 24.
He has 30 eyes, and he didn't see what was coming.
All right, so we're in Olympus Coliseum 2. This is where we're gonna get our next unlock.
Oh,
I thought I had magnet.
he unlocked you.
I come here without magnet so infrequently that I was just like, I'm using my magnet button.
Magnet and reflect are your safety buttons. Like in the base game, you don't really use them that much, but after a while, and you get used to like the way these enemies like move and the order of the abilities they use, it becomes I can prepare in advance and just blow them up. Limit form is also your other safety button. It's very, very good.
That moment when you don't have the aw heck button to press. I call it something else, but you know, this is to a family friendly audience.
Yeah.
I was about to ask you too if that had ever happened to you. If you went to go like hit an ability or a form that wasn't there, and you were just very confused.
All the time, every
Jump.
day. Well done, Herc. Headbutt him.
All right, so we're just advancing the story a little bit. We got to do some travel. Talk to Orin. He doesn't want to talk to us.
Hi,
We're
Orin.
gonna save warp, save some time. Let's see.
Go all the way back up again.
Yep, got it. Climb all the way up. All right.
Yeah, the
This is
big
our
thing with
the first shot for getting the item.
Yeah, the big thing with the chain logic is that the unlocking item is guaranteed to be in the part 2 of the world. It makes you go farther in. So what happens is he's going to pick up an item here, and that's going to unlock part 2 for another world, which means he has to go through all of part 1 and then into part 2 for it. But normally you wouldn't be in part 2 OC this early in a run, usually. So that's kind of like the point of the chain logic, is to force you out of your comfort zone, do something you normally wouldn't do, and try content with tools you might not normally have. We got not it, so we got to fight Hades. Are we
Alright,
comfortable with
so-
Hades right now?
That's what I was kind of gonna take a look at.
Blizzard's very good. He is on fire.
Yeah, let's give it a shot or two. It's
There
kinda
are
the
a
same deal
couple-
as Agrabah 2, where like
Yeah.
I might die once or twice, but we should be fine.
That's it.
There's definitely some awkward routing in this seed in particular. We didn't hit like the really bad ones, but it feels like we're getting pushed into some places that you'd want to be, like maybe the second half of the
That's it.
world you choose.
You won't stop a true hero.
But yeah, for this fight, Hades is invincible until you hit him with one of those glowing orbs from Herc. He turns blue. Oh wow, yeah, that's Limit Form's really doing some damage. Your strength is up there, huh?
Trying to do
So,
as
yeah.
much damage as possible with Limit Form.
Yeah. Oh my God. Wait, are you not even gonna get? No. Oh my God. Wait, he didn't even go into his. Just, normally he'd turn back invincible. He'd summon a big fireball to put fire everywhere, and then you're running around, and if you touch it, it's gonna one-shot you. And like, oh my God.
All right, there's that Bone Fist.
So where do you think that one goes, chat?
We go back to Halloween Town.
Yeah, so now Halloween Town 2 is going to have something in it, and we'll just be following these breadcrumbs all the way to the end of the seed. I don't know if we fully said you got to find all 3 proofs. The proofs unlock the door that lets you go and fight all the final Xemnas fights, and that's how you quote-unquote complete the seed. That's how you win. There are many different ways in which you can set like your win condition. Those are less so being assigned by like the generator and more so up to you, like how you want to play, right? Some people will do, oh, I get every single important check, and once I've gotten everything, I'm done. Other people will do the Xemnas stuff, but it's really up to you, like what you want your win condition to be.
Kind of hoping that I would catch him.
It did not come back down for you. This fight is a little annoying because he has like 3 or 4 phases. Every time he enters a phase, he becomes invincible. He's going to eat one of the kids. That's going to determine his abilities. And then you get to go through the process 3 more times. Now he's in his final phase. He eats all 3 of them. He gets all 3 of their abilities. And he gets kind of dangerous. He actually hits really hard for like this level. But yeah, as you can see, he got through it just safe. The Limit Form really gets you there. We picked up a glide, I believe.
Yes, we got a glide there.
Yeah, and that's wonderful. Faster movement is always great. It'll save us a ton of time. And up next is Oogie. He's going to be throwing presents at us. Although we might leave.
This is
Go
the
back.
save warp.
Oh, smart. I played this game for 3 years. I didn't know you could do that.
Nice view.
Everything, every day, something new.
So,
Oh, you just try dodging.
normally this is a 3-phase fight where you have to do a lot of present, like, manipulation here. For the randomizer, you're in phase 3.
That's right. Away you go.
Yeah, it's mainly about trying to equalize the time within each world, so that it doesn't feel like unfair or a bit like too slow if you are getting the same number of checks in part 2, right? Because all the worlds have like 6 or 7 checks in their second half because you're mainly revisiting a world, so you've opened up most of those checks. So if you did all 3 fights, all 3 phases of the fight here, it would take you an extra 5 or 10 minutes when another world with the same number of checks would be a lot less. So it's mainly about trying to balance that out so it doesn't feel too bad to be here in the first place.
Try dodging this.
It's almost as if a speedrunner had developed this randomizer.
Maybe a little bit of, ideas were put in by speedrunners.
Just a
Right, away you
Just a
go.
tad. But it's a long randomizer as well. I'm not entirely well versed on how long runs can take for the other games. Maybe you guys can give me some info on that. But these runs are about 3 hours on average, give or take your settings.
I mean, the length that they show isn't of any coincidence either. I mean, most randomizers, they kind of fall in that sweet spot of 2 to 3 hours, right? And some of the longer ones are a little closer to 3 hours. That's to be expected.
Alright, so we're in Halloween time too.
The children
The children.
Another
get to beat up a couple of kids.
Zach the robot. I don't want to be here. kind of
If I have to do the boss here, I'm going to do other stuff first.
Gotcha.
Yeah, experiment is a rough one. Jack's limit here, the ghost dance, is like, it's really good. But there's only so much you can like abuse with it until you kind of run out of resources and you have to fight it like head on. Experiment's got a lot of health, a lot of phases, and he splits apart into pieces, and it just gets real rough.
Let's go.
Picking up a extra EXP here from the special Heartless. They give you a bunch if you open them up, just to help balance our stats now since we're in so many late worlds.
Strength stat is amazing. Our magic stat could use some help.
The last couple of seeds I played with these settings were all magic too, because again, everything is randomized, including where you're getting your stats from and how many you're getting. It's got a bit of normalization to keep you from going all in one direction. But you're gonna have a seed where you don't get any magic at all and you are only picking up magic abilities, and you're like, what am I supposed to do with this?
We're getting dangerously close.
We haven't entered
Last check before
like Space
the boss.
Paranoids, right? So we haven't entered a couple of worlds that we could do extra shotguns in if you really needed tools.
Oh, by the way,
Hopefully
this is
not
also
experiment.
changed.
That's really fast.
They're all very big boxes. Yeah, normally they're small and big. Sometimes we made them all 20 so that you don't have to worry.
Gotcha.
And there we go, Proud Fang.
Alright, we don't have to fight experiment.
Thank God.
Alright. So, going from a very annoying boss fight to a very annoying boss fight.
I was about to ask you about this boss fight, actually. This is Pride Lands 2, I assume?
We still need to finish Pride Lands 1, but we will have Pride Lands 2 coming up shortly.
Yeah, I remember that boss being huge. That's the one that takes up the savannah, yeah?
Can we be friends? No!
Yeah, Ground Shaker is the Pride Lands 2 boss.
So big.
More like Seed Breaker. Oh yeah, this is a really cool little strat you can do here. You hit all of them so that they retaliate at you at the same time, allowing you to reflect and hit all 3 of them. And you just do it twice and they die.
Well, can't let Puma and Timon get injured. They're amazing.
No, you don't want that.
Yeah.
I believe the bosses here are kind of weak to magic. It seems like a fairly consistent theming that like real world type of enemies are weak to magic. Like the pirates are very weak to magic as well. So I don't know, it just seemed like a cool game design idea. Everything that's
Oh yes, Pride Lands 1 is Scar, and then that would make sense then for Ground Shaker. I tend to forget this fight because it reminds me of the Lion King's Nexus final fight, like the setting and everything. So I just kind of tend to think this,
So Scar has one of the worst DMs in the game, where he'll start running around the map really, really quickly for like 10-15 seconds. But you can't skip it if you hit him hard enough. Oh my god, he did it.
Oh, and Magnet! Look at that!
Well done, Zach. Oh my god.
Good.
I can never get that for my life. He'll DM so quickly if you're not consistently on top of him. And like, you have to really, that looked a lot easier than it was. You have to set up his health in a very specific way with your regular reflex and your attacks so that you can keep him in a combo for the second half of his health so he can't DM in time. That was great. Well done. Now we have a lot more running. A lot.
Everything else can go wrong. It's fine.
Yeah, no, you're good. That was great.
Oh, I don't know if you would want it. No, don't do that to a seed, Zach. That's a bad idea. That is a very bad idea.
We gotta take wins where we can get them. At this point, like...
I mean, yeah, but you never test
The seed's already cursed. It's fine. It's cursed. It's fine.
If Zach rolls the seed, it's cursed. This is a default. Anyone who's seen him play seeds before knows, do not let him roll yours.
Oh, dang.
Oh, we removed 2 of the hyenas from here as well. Hello, speedrunners like to go fast. It's a bit rough when there's all 3 of them, so there's only one, and you just gotta find them.
And here I thought Zach had done a trick to get rid of 2 of them. I was gonna be like, okay, what's your secret here?
Oh, let's back up. Yeah, Zach did a trick, merged them together, and then he did a thunder. It's crazy. Try it at home. Promise you to go the same way.
So, funny story. We have to
What
fight
have you
Ground
done?
Shaker.
Oh.
I didn't think that was very funny, you know, based on what you were saying about it.
I'm not laughing.
You're not laughing at that.
No. What? Oh, because there's no more checks. Oh my.
No.
So it could also be the data as well, couldn't it?
Yes, I have super bosses on, so if it's not on Ground Shaker, it's on Data Sykes.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Okay, so Ground Shaker's
We may have to
good.
come back.
It's good. Everything is gonna go right. What could possibly go wrong here?
Where is Syax on your like list of datas you'd want to fight?
If I have Peter Pan, then it's like no biggie or double native combo. But right now, it would not be great.
Oh boy. So this fight starts off with some reaction commands. You just gotta mash triangle, don't get stepped on. Once you're done with it, he's gonna fall over, his head is gonna hit the ground, and it's gonna give you some time to attack one of his eyes. That's where most of the damage is gonna come in from before you get to his like second, ghost body up top. We will see how he goes about doing this. Do we have Berserk Charge? We do? Okay, good. So he jumps up, he spams square because he has Berserk Charge. It doesn't require any sort of combo finishers. You can see his health just absolutely drained because his strength is so high. Now he's gonna do the limit here, high thing. It allows him to get in the air because it's attacking, spinning towards the enemy. This should be able to kill him if he can get there fast enough, and he does! And he gets a picture and reflect. We don't have to do the data.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Did anybody take notes on that fight?
That was a lot really quickly, I know.
The commentary just went with it too. It was pretty good actually.
That was a very, very clean fight as well. He had just the right tools. Timing that limit to use it correctly is actually kind of a pain because the enemy of the head goes away and then you have to target the ghost body at the top. So it can kind of like, you can miss if you do it at the wrong time. So that actually that was really clean. Well done.
Yeah.
I have never seen that fight done that quickly, and I'm still trying to process it, and here you are already at the next stage of the game. Wow. just wow, I'm really impressed, Zach. That was a heck of a fight.
Yeah, the main thing there is that I did not have a cure to get my MP down all the way, so I just had to spam magic. And then once I get into that MP charge state and have Berserk charge equipped, you just can do an infinite combo. You don't have to do a finisher. So then you're spamming that attack button. My strength is very high, so that just made the HP go down really fast.
Oh, Genie, our favorite.
Honestly,
Very usable.
Genie might be okay.
Genie is a hard summon to use. Anyone who's done like the any % run will have a bit more like experience with him. Although I don't even know if they're using him in that anymore.
Oh, it's definitely used.
They are, yeah.
Yeah.
Because you get him fairly early. But in the randomizer, you have so many tools available. Genie gets replaced fairly quickly by like having a reflect or having like a form. So you don't really get to use them a ton.
The any % Elios.
I do. I've been so focused on the randomizer for so long. It's like I forget what wasn't in the base game at this point when people are asking.
Genie is used everywhere.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna try to get hit to end this fight.
You try to take damage to end it instead of doing hits.
I'm gonna try. I don't know if it's gonna work.
Yeah, a lot of these forced fights that have just infinite waves of enemies, they have a few different ways in which you can finish them. Either you take enough damage and the fight auto ends, or you hit them enough times that it auto ends as well. It's not based off of like enemies defeated, it's based off of hits done. So depending on your tools, it could be faster to just take hits and then it'll auto complete itself instead. One of those small optimizations that you'll see, more experienced rando runners do. But yeah, that's pretty straightforward. If the fight has a set number of enemies, it's not infinitely spawning, then you do have to defeat them. So you kind of just got to know which one is which.
So those are both gray. I don't need those.
Yeah, the chest visuals is a fairly kind of new option that was added to the randomizer recently. We have some wonderful developers who are, designing unique art assets that we're able to put into the game.
Are custom.
Yeah, they weren't
good.
pulled from something else. Yeah, they're wonderful. Any of them that are like black and silver are essentially good enough to leave alone. But like the green ones are torn pages, the orange ones are drive forms, blue ones are magic, and they're very easy to tell from a distance as well. They were designed really well.
I think we might as well use Genie.
Show him off a little bit.
By the
I
way,
talked bad about him. I shouldn't have.
if there's another Kingdom Hearts game, I'm gonna petition to have Goofy keep the flaming pink pants, because that is Goofy in peak form. You cannot tell me otherwise.
He's pulling it off really well,
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
I would love to see, like, custom outfits, right? Like, it's an RPG, you know? You're supposed to be able to, like, put on armor and, like, show off, like, your cool set, you know?
Thunder.
Do you have Donald and Goofy set to Sora attack?
Yeah, they are turned off effectively.
Yeah, so a lot of people, who don't want Donald and Goofy to get in the way, because sometimes they can hit things and cause them to retaliate, and that can be a problem. So you set their customization like settings to just Sora attack, which means only let Sora attack. They'll use items to like heal him if they have any, right? That can keep them out of the way and reduce variance from them like hitting something and causing a problem. But some people can actually like really utilize their basic attack if you're early in the game still.
So let's put that magnet on.
Chat's got me thinking.
Is that our first?
By the way, does that look purple or pink to you? Sorry, I have to know real quick.
It's like a magenta.
Magenta,
It's like
yeah.
it's getting there.
Oh, someone in chat just said, be cool if they had outfits that match the world, right, Alios?
Oh, if only. Listen, okay. I don't have an excuse. I'm sorry. Is that reflect gun? Flare out. It looks so large. It's so good. Look at reflect. It's an absurd ability if you know how to use it. Oh my god.
Wow.
They're gone.
Did you ever die on that segment? I died on that segment a ton.
Oh yeah,
All the time.
That's a pretty easy segment to die on.
Yeah.
There are, without reflect, it becomes so dangerous because the berserkers will, go berserk, and you can't stop them,
Okay,
and they will
so
follow you.
Valor form is the next thing. So I think I'm gonna kind of pivot from the chain a little bit. There is one world that we have to do in order to get to the final door, and it's the world never was. So we should probably fight some bosses. We've kind of
What's your-
gotten
what's
lucky,
your-
haven't had to fight any of the hard bosses.
What's your plan for Roxas here? How are you going to approach this fight?
Honestly, just limit form.
Yeah, that's what I would have
It's
guessed.
not the wrong answer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your strength is so high now that, limit form is going to melt this man. You're going to reflect, get a couple of hits. You're going to steal the Keyblades? No, you're just going to go straight for it.
Was this fight in the original Kingdom Hearts 2, or was it just Final Mix?
No, that's fine.
There was a cutscene, and you got to pretend
Yeah.
that people really wanted it, and they were like, okay, fine.
Oh my god, what they
And it
asked
is
for. Oh my god.
absolutely one of the... Yeah, he's gone. We didn't even have time to discuss it. The strength is so high, and limit form hits like a...
Elias is just like, yeah, he's gone. Just casually, I love it.
I was about to say, oh, it's one of the best designed fights in the game. It's balanced, it's fair, it's really fun, and it's super cool, and he's gone.
Yeah, and he's gone.
That's the rando for you.
All right. Oh, finishing
Finishing
lead.
lead.
That's very nice.
Yeah, with your strength stat as well, that's... it can hit enemies into the air and essentially extend your combo beyond what your base number would be. So that's actually a very, very useful tool for the rest of this run. Do you plan on trying to force final at all, or are we just going to wait for that in the chain?
We're gonna have to do it soon, I think, because my anti points are super high.
You're going to start hitting the anti-Sora. So, for anyone who doesn't know, the way that Final Form works in the base game is that you would have to go into anti-Sora a certain number of times, and there's a random chance that it will become Final Form instead of going into Anti-Form. Anti-Form is triggered by going into forms, and there's a hidden value every time you go into a form that increases, and the higher the number is, the higher chance there is that you'll go into Anti-Form. Anti-Form is bad, kind of, because you can't heal yourself or use items, and it's really dangerous in boss fights if you use a form in a fight and you go into Anti, because you have no way of defending yourself anymore. But in the rando, final is also an item that you can pick up. So you have an option of picking up final form, and final form is in the logic for the chain as well, like the other forms are. Or you could break logic by forcing final instead, and having it a bit earlier than you normally would.
So I'm just thinking it through, and I think I'm just going to use auto final on this Keyblade and fight Zigbar.
Instead of trying to force it.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. The auto forms will let you go into a form when your health is low enough by just pressing triangle, but it doesn't give you the form in terms of you can use it later. So it's a nice tool for, oh, I don't have limit form, but I want to use it for Roxas. You can get your health low and use it just for that fight. It can also be used to level up your form if you use it in the overworld. But that is more likely to break the logic even more because you could level it up without having it. So it depends on like what your goal is.
Yeah, I was just doing like a sanity check to see if we could find the ability that could give me final form.
See if light and dark was anywhere.
Yeah, and it wasn't.
Light and dark is the ability on the Keyblade in the
You really shouldn't have
in plus after you beat Roxas that you could use to get it really easily. Guarantees you go into anti-form.
Otherwise, we'd be here for like 10 minutes.
Yeah. Now, Zigbar might not be too bad because our strength is high. We don't have Hori Slash, right?
Sneak.
We're gonna have
So-
to measure out our damage a little bit.
Yes. The way that Zigbar works is that he has different phases depending on where his health is at. And if you get him just before his second phase starts, and you let him go into the secondary room, he's going to pull you in. As long as you don't leave, he can't enter his DM phase. He will force you to leave after a certain amount of like attacks that he does here. But as long as you don't leave, you can get him down to where his third phase would start. And you have a couple of options. We'll see how he decides to go about doing this. He wants to keep you in the room or pull him out. But you can either try to defeat him in this room and not let him DM, or if you do 2 finishers upon leaving the room or something to interrupt him on the exit, he gets stuck in a loop where he's just going to do these 3 attacks over and over again and then reload. So you essentially break his AI, keep him in the loop, and it lets you really easily finish the fight without having to sit through his big spinning, shoot you from around the room DM. And it's that straightforward. It's a bit hard to see why he got in that loop because he did the finisher so quickly leaving the room. But essentially, he's in an animation upon leaving the room and doing another knockback while he's stuck in that knockback animation breaks the counter that he uses to keep track of when he's supposed to DM.
So, to clarify for chat, DM is desperation move. It's the big final attack. We want to skip it whenever possible.
It takes a lot of time.
Alright. So, we're going to try to finish these bosses up. Just so that we have them done, we don't have to worry about them anymore.
The first to run out of time is the loser.
I don't believe this world is in logic for chain.
Yeah, there's nothing that locks the world number was currently, so it's entirely only to get us to the final door.
Oh, wow. Yeah, so he only has second chance. He doesn't have once more, which means if you get hit within the same combo but without it resetting, you're not protected. It looks like he got hit by a card on the way down, and then Luxord immediately did like his strongest attack there.
Yeah.
A challenge.
I thought the cards were done spinning.
No, they're never done spinning. They got some weird physics going on, especially with the frame rate being higher on the ports, where they act a bit differently than they normally would on like the PS2 version of the game. So they kind of come at you like really quickly, and you can see them just absolutely following you all the way across. They don't normally do that. Yeah, but the main portion of this fight is going to be responding to the cards being summoned and just trying not to get caught in anything. You have to get his timer bar all the way down before yours does, and by hitting him, the timer bar reduces. And then once it gets low enough, he's going to do a desperation move that will let you essentially finish the fight off.
I'm going to try to skip that desperation move. I just need to make sure I don't go.
Yeah. Limit form does make that pretty doable. Let's see if we can get it out. So you use R's. You do 1 hit because he's still stuck in the knockback, or multiple hits. As long as he's in the knockback, he can't, DM. Then you do ours again to finish him off, and there he goes.
Much better than the first time.
Yeah, as long as a boss is stuck in some sort of knockback animation, they can't start their desperation move because they're still finishing off that animation. So there's a couple of different ways, depending on the boss, in which you can just keep them locked in it and past these health barriers you normally be stuck going through.
Moon, shine down.
So it's gonna be limit form again.
Be gone.
I'm gonna try to make sure that Donald and Goofy are not they don't have any health, so I don't go anti.
I misjudged you.
Yeah, it is getting pretty dangerous in terms of his anti-points. He's been using a lot of forms this run, so there's just a random chance that he go anti at this rate. There's also a chance you go final on your first anti-form, but it's like 1%.
Let's go.
Yep, protected himself.
Back off. Take this.
I think he's gonna be okay though. He's got so much strength, and he'll be able to keep this going. He can't use his berserk because he kept him in the loop at the end of ours, and he's done. Well done.
All right, one more boss, and then we will probably want to do our break for the run.
All right, sounds good. Yep, just let me know and we can do that for you.
Mm-hmm. So Riku joins the party. We won't see him until the final beats.
Yeah, you're forced to fight this first Severus fight solo.
Oh, yeah, we have Stitch. I'm using Stitch for protection here.
Unless he doesn't protect you, in which case it's all over. Stitch has some weird AI where sometimes, like, his whole point is that he blocks projectiles, like, automatically.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't do that sometimes, and I personally don't know why.
If they're point blank, he can't block them. That's
yeah.
Yeah.
Come closer.
Everyone's favorite moment ever as a kid playing this game, running up the walls like, this is me.
Yep.
I'm doing this. You wait for the third reaction, because that's the cool one, and it does a lot of damage. Now, Xemnas also has a desperation move at the end of his fight, where you gotta run up the wall again. But if, like we've said with the other ones, you get him to the right amount of health, and you have the damage, and keep him in a combo, you can avoid it entirely and save yourself, 60 seconds. You gotta get him around 1 bar.
Oh my goodness.
Light. Okay, this is it.
Limit form is just absolutely rapid.
Back off.
Just melted. Absolutely melted.
We don't even get to see a lot of their, like, mechanics, just because it's so, once you're gotten through it so many times, it becomes like, muscle memory.
All right, yeah, let's take that break.
All right, let's do that then. So we will pause the timer for you. So again, I do want to remind folks before we go on our wellness break, I have a few announcements on behalf of GDQ, but also please be sure to give both our fantastic writer and commentator, that would be Zach the Robot, and Alios Gaming, a follow. Their Twitch links are right there for folks watching on YouTube. That is twitch.tv/Zach the Robot, ZAK the Robot, all one, no spaces, and then Alios Gaming as well, no spaces, ALIOS GAMING. On behalf of GDQ, I do want to remind you all that your subs, Prime Gaming subs, gift subs, and bits cheer on the GDQ Twitch channel help support Games Done Quick Hotfix. If you enjoy watching speedruns daily, consider subscribing to the channel. And of course, as folks have been talking about in chat, Awesome Games Done Quick 2024 starts this weekend, Sunday, January 14th. Come watch a week of runs broadcast live from Pittsburgh, PA, benefiting the Prevent Cancer Foundation. And with that being said, be sure to stretch, hydrate, and we'll be right back with Random Number Generation. Welcome back to Random Number Generation. I am joined here by Zach the Robot and Elias Gaming, and this is Kingdom Hearts 2 Rando Chain Logic Settings. So we're going to dive right back into it. We still have a lot to talk about over the course of the run, and Riku, you are looking great in that pink and white jacket there. So feel free to take it away, Zach. I can't wait to see how this unfolds.
All right, yeah, let's get started again in 3, 2, 1, resume. All right, so we took a detour to beat all those bosses because we had to do it eventually, but we ended up getting Valor Form last, so we need to level that. So let's do that. Valor Form levels up from hits, so we're just gonna find as many enemies as possible and hit them.
Yeah, this hallway is usually like the default, I think, that people think about when they want to level up Valor, because you can see, even though it's one swing, you're hitting 5 or 6 enemies at once, and it really adds up.
Back off. Take this.
All right,
There's the membership card.
so that is our next unlock.
That will take us to Hollow Bastion.
Yes.
The Hollow Bastion's a little bit weird because it doesn't have, it kind of doesn't have the same, like part 1, part 2, hard part 1, part 2, like the other ones do, because of the way that it's used within the story in the base game. You kind of come back and forth multiple times throughout the game.
Gather.
In terms of rando mindset, what would you say, Zach? Is it part 1, 2, 3, or just part 1 and 2 and like post Hollow Bastion? Like,
So the way logically we have it split out is Hollow Bastion 1 is up until this Bailey fight. And then everything else is Hollow Bastion 2.
okay. And then technically the mushrooms reward is its own logic as well, because in the randomizer, you know, normally the proofs, all they do is they give you the crowns, and they're like, I think in the base game, remind me, is it all 3 is Terra or just connection? Or Terra gives you one?
Connection is Terra.
Yeah.
Proof of non-existence is beating all the data org things. And then the proof of peace is the one from the Mushroom 13.
From the mushrooms. So they essentially unlock the content that you would have gotten them from, in a way.
Yeah. So proof of connection unlocks Terra, Lingering Will. Proof of peace unlocks the 2 checks on the mushrooms. And then proof of non-existence is nothing, so it's the end of the chain.
Yeah. Very fitting. But yeah, for Hollow Bastion, we are now within part 2. And so the next unlock could be anywhere. It's a very large world. It's got a lot of content for a quote-unquote part 2, comparatively speaking, to the others.
Yeah. The mention in chat about how Lingering Will unlock in the vanilla game. Yeah, you have to like beat the game with all the worlds done. So yeah, there's a lot.
In terms of let's see, Cavern of Remembrance is not enabled for these settings specifically.
Just to save us some time.
Yeah. I don't even think, does it have any logic for the chain anyways?
Technically, growth abilities, like your movement abilities, lock it, but it just kind of makes it easier to not include it.
Yeah. Could Sephiroth be our next check in this world?
Yes, Sephiroth could be the next check.
Oh boy. You could do it. Ooh, negative
All
combo.
right, we have double negative combo.
Double negative combo is one of, I would say, myself, the most used, like, cheese, quote-unquote, strats in the game. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, so a lot of the humanoid bosses will get staggered whenever you do a finisher attack on them, like your base combo finisher from the air. if you can only do finishers, if you attack over and over, those bosses end up just staggering over and over. And they just kind of get stuck. They can't do anything. So it's one of those very simple strategies that you can use to get through a lot of the hard bosses.
Yeah, and it's almost it's on a Keyblade from Sephiroth in the base game is one of them. So getting double negative for like regular gameplay in original is essentially like not really an option. So there's a lot of implementations for bosses you normally wouldn't have it available to, which is why it's so easy. You know, it wasn't something the developers were like, oh, we need to worry about this being abused.
All right.
Yeah, so now they do
Ready to
that.
Dance, water, dance.
Oh boy. Yeah, we have to come back because in the cutscene, Radiant Garden like gets destroyed a bit. So that opens up to walk backwards to get those chests because they weren't available previously.
Dance, water, dance!
So the way this fight works is Denix will summon water dudes who are playing guitar, and if you hit them, they turn into music notes, and you have to defeat all of them before the timer runs out. Anyone who's seen, like, you know, the data speedruns and stuff will know that he's got like 99 of them, and you have to do it within way too little of time. So this is like your introduction to that idea that he's just going to be like pushing you to find new ways of defeating those enemies. He's a rough fight, especially like without the tools, because he doesn't stop moving around, and those AoE water geysers will push you up in the air, and he is hard. He will catch you off guard.
I did not use Reflect properly.
He can get out of hand very quickly, and once he does, it's hard to get him back to where you want him.
This is one of the most, like, unfriendly beginner fights ever. Like,
Yes.
it's so easy to fail. I don't know if you necessarily died, but I would say, like, fail this fight.
And the hard part in the original game is that it immediately sends you into another wave of fights with all the Final Fantasy guys. And if you die there, you have to redo Denix. It's so punishing. As a kid, this was where I got stuck.
Come on, keep to the beat. Defense. Back off. Now, dance, water, dance.
I can safely use one of them.
Oh, this is it.
So after y'all are done with this fight, I want y'all to talk about your streams, any events going on, community happenings, community resources. Please feel free to have at it.
I've recently come back from a hiatus to kind of just stream a little bit more sustainably than I have in the past, but I plan to do more randomizers. I plan to maybe do some dev streams where I work on the generator and implement new stuff.
Gather.
As far as community events, actually it's perfect timing to do this. There is a beginner tournament happening in 3 days. The qualifiers start in 3 days.
All right, get going.
So if you want to start playing the randomizer and you feel maybe you're intimidated by playing on critical mode or playing against people who have played for a long time, this tournament is meant to be for beginners who have not participated in tournaments before. So I would definitely encourage looking into it. Helios, what do you got going on?
So yeah, I stream on and off, mainly randomizer. In terms of the community, if you have ever been like on our Discord, I am the main like tech help guy. So in terms of installing installation problems, we've done a ton of work recently on installing the randomizer super easy and like super straightforward. So my job has been kind of slowly being phased out in a good way. The whole point is to make this something where you can just like pick it up and play. And jump in. So like Zach was saying, if you're new and you want to start playing, it's never been easier to get into it. It's never been easier to find people to play with. And there's some new updates that are going to be coming out in the future. I don't want to talk for anyone specifically, but it's definitely a great time to come and play Randomizer.
Yeah, there's some confusion in chat. This is the PC port of the games. So leveling up, I got Explosion, which is very good.
And Trinity Limit? Where'd that come from?
And Trinity Limit just now, yeah.
Yeah, so we're finally filling up on the tools. And it's almost all of the main mechanics that we'd want to like abuse are available to us now. A little sad we don't have all the magnets for this fight. So we're stuck using laser beam reaction command. We have to kill 1,000 Heartless without dying, which is actually a lot harder. Like it doesn't sound very easy, does it? But it's a lot harder than you would assume. Because they will pile onto you, and those little lasers that they're shooting out. Like they don't. Once they hit you, once one hits, all of them hit, and it kind of just kills you if you're not prepared for them. So your main goal is to, defeat them in any way you can. It's usually fastest if you have a level 3 magnet, because they'll all get sucked into the magnet and they'll respawn, and you just blaze through them. But without it, you kind of have to use this laser reaction command here. It kills like 30 to 50 of them every time, and you're invincible while you're doing it, so it protects you as well. It might be hard to see on stream, but the enemies outside of your direct vicinity are not actually in the world. They're like flat 2D textures that are just made to look like they're there, because the game couldn't handle actually 1,000 Heartless all at once back in the day. So there's usually, I think, 15 to 20 of them at a time that are real, and as you defeat them, they will load in more. And one trick that the game uses actually to reduce overhead is it'll load them in outside of your view. So you can see that he's spinning the camera every time he snags and does the laser beam, because what he's doing is he's aiming the laser out of camera view if possible, so that it hits more, because they're going to spawn into it like immediately. If we had all 3 of the magnets and our magic was high enough, you could essentially stare at the floor and just spam magnet, and they would immediately be respawning in, because it doesn't have to load in their models, and it's so fast.
Okay, so there's one last check here. If it's not here, it's on Sephiroth.
Oh boy, they're gonna leave a chest for us. That's
here.
Oh boy, it's like that guaranteed Sephi, or it could be the data.
We do not have enough forms for data demics to have it.
Technically out of logic here. Okay, wow. Well, this will be fun.
I like these signs.
For me.
Yeah, I was gonna say, fun for whom?
Listen, I think you had a run yesterday where you had to do him first? Is that what it was?
Wait, how does that work?
I had no forms. I had some very basic tools.
Right, but how did it actually execute?
I died.
Oh, okay.
Listen, you're supposed to tell them you did it in your first try, and it's super easy because you're just that good.
Definitely. Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'd be able to do that right away. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Okay, we're gonna have some fun here. I don't want to do this, and die for 10 minutes. So we're gonna level up a little bit.
You want to tell them about how this one works?
Yeah, so I don't have the boost, so I'm just gonna go into the fight. This is a fight where enemies will spawn infinitely until you like do the 3 reaction commands. What we're gonna do is we're gonna do 2 of them, and then we're just gonna continue to kill enemies for this 2-minute time limit. Hopefully, we gain enough stats to make Sephiroth a little bit nicer, so that we don't have to like kind of bang our head against it. But stats could not go our way.
Without the EXP boost, so EXP boost is an ability that would double the amount of EXP you get if your health is below half. And with 2 of them, it doubles it and then doubles it again, which is huge, honestly. So without it, this might not be a crazy amount of levels, but it will add to his current by a fair amount. I believe the floor for Sephiroth is 60.
It's 51.
51, so it's 50. So you can see his stats on the stream. If they're below 51, he is doing level 1 damage. You might as well not do level 1. Yeah,
Trying to
Stitch.
get some magic.
We had talked about Stitch earlier in terms of his ability to block projectiles. The other thing he can do is he can lick you, like he's doing now, and he gives you mana, which means you can spam, you know, Magnet, spam Thunder, or whatever. But he's very finicky on whether or not he does it. And if he's being very nice. He's being very nice here. So we're getting to spam Magnet into Finisher Explosion, which is killing them automatically. But sometimes he just sits there and he plays his ukulele and he looks at you and like he knows. You just have to question, why? Why do I let him do this to me?
Alright. I'm gonna grab these chests before the boss. We don't have to do any more of this world. This was what the seed rolled, not that we didn't have to do. There is a magnet in this world. A magnet there, so that would be nice.
This is nice. It's always right after the thing you save for later.
Yep. Oh look, it's a magnet.
that's on brand.
Mm-hmm. All right, so yeah, now we're gonna go fight Sephiroth.
This is just the raw fight, isn't it? There's not really a way to cheese this.
Yeah. So something that I did not mention at the beginning, for the people that have stuck around, part of the chain is Lingering Will. We will have to fight Lingering Will before this is over.
Take this.
It's so... Sephiroth as a fight is really difficult to talk about because he has a lot of different mechanics, and the way that you interact with them can make or break the way that you have to approach it. What he's doing right now is hitting him just enough so that he's not actually getting to the revenge value. Oh wow, he got through that reflect. What happened?
I did not reflect enough.
Oof. But I don't. We've talked about DMs and desperation moves. I don't think we've really talked about revenge value too much. Revenge value in this game is a hidden number in which every attack you do increases revenge value. And after you hit a certain number, the boss will do a revenge attack. They'll either do a unique attack or they'll just retaliate in some form. If you don't hit the value, they usually have a specific set of things they can do within their AI. Sephiroth will continue to do this forward movement. Of course, he stops now, but his forward movement sword swing over and over again until you hit a certain HP value, which he's already hit. Now he's going to start summoning all these orbs and doing his big fire pillars, and you kind of just have to react to it. There's not great ways to cheese the Sephiroth fight. He's designed in a way where once you're in, oh my god, he just took you out!
That reaction,
Yeah,
though.
that was not great.
What? So when he does the big pillar flame attack, he's sucking you in at the same time. So he's pulling you into the center. When you get hit by one, it usually bumps you out. But for some reason, it bumped him to the other side of Sephiroth, who had another pillar behind him, and it immediately took him out. That was crazy.
What a ridiculous
So-
fight.
Yeah.
So in the interest of trying to go fast. I'm going to look for Once More. I know Once More is in this world in Land of Dragons. We have to do this content anyway, so let's just do it now. Find Once More, and that'll give us some survivability for Sephiroth.
Now, we don't have Master Form yet, do we?
We do not.
Yeah, this is a toughie. Sephiroth is a fight that catches people at any point in their, you know, if you're gonna call it a rando career or whatever. We've had long-term players. Sephi's just rough. One mistake will end the fight for you if you don't have the right tools or the right defensive abilities, like Once More and Second Chance. You don't get second chances there, and you don't get it. But it will absolutely take you out. And there's no matter how many times you practice it, it only takes one mess up. So this is a good idea, in my opinion. I'd want to get Once More. We're gonna have to do this world anyways, like you said. So let's just get here, pray that it's not behind the world lock, and we'll just have to go from there. There is an option to try to level up, but without EXP boost, that's going to be a slow process.
Yeah, we can go to the world that never was. That's where the highest battle level enemies are, the most experience we can get.
Yeah, but it would take a bit.
The biggest thing that is really slowing me down right now is not having access to fire.
You might want to force it if we have to.
Yeah.
Is that how
It's only a
important
minute or
Final
two.
Form is, though? Like, is it, like, just that important to randomizers?
Yes, like, a lot of bosses can be kind of trivialized by it. I'm also worried about using forms in fights, because I have not been able to drain my anti-points. Like, when I got Valor form, so that drained them, but, like, I had to level them, so...
Yeah, they would reset. Either they don't reset entirely, but they go down whenever you go into anti-form, and I believe they reset when you get a new form. And so, you know, if you force final, it'll just essentially clear out your chance to go anti. Can you even get anti after final, or final just reduces your anti points by a ton when you enter it?
I mean, if you don't go final form, you can still get anti.
Yeah, final form like clears out your points essentially when you use it. So it essentially becomes, oh, I don't see anti-form anymore. But like going anti-form in Sephiroth is a death sentence. You just die. But let's think. We've already done Halloween Town. I'm thinking about where you could go. Oh, experience boost. We like that.
After we did the thing, yep.
I know. We'll take what we can get now. But I'm trying to think about where we want to do this. We have used up a lot of our easy, you know, free options for just leveling whenever. And without final form, leveling in the world that never was is a bit of a pain as well, but it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
No, Sephiroth has not been beaten yet, to answer your question in chat, but I assume there'll be another attempt put on as soon as you feel comfortable with where things are.
Can you do the throne room skip?
Yeah.
Ooh.
I should be able to.
I'd like to see it.
Yeah, I'd like to see that too.
Alright, so we got a minute in this fight. Doing nothing.
I guess we could talk about, we can prepare people for the eventual throne room skip.
Back off.
Usually, so there's a skip you can do leading into the throne room here in LOD, because the load zone into the Shan Yu fight is a wall that you can go over if you get high enough. The easiest way to get over that wall is to use Master Form, to jump up, do an aerial dodge, go into Master Form, use Master Form's aerial dodge, do like a reflect, leave Master Form, which refreshes Sora's aerial dodge, and you just go up, up, and up until you land a drag gauge and get over the invisible wall. Without it, Zach will have to describe his game plan there.
I'll be using Wisdom.
Using Wisdom, and what are you using Wisdom to get up above that?
So I'm going to stall in the air with Fire and Reflect, and and then I'm gonna revert and aerial dodge and just repeat that until I get enough height, hopefully.
So it is really just like, you know, the wisdom form one is a lot harder to do because the timing is more tight. And you have to wait to revert. You can't immediately revert from the form. So the reason he has to do fire and then reflect is because that gives him enough time for the form button to let him leave. But you're going to lose height as you do spells, so it's kind of like, you know, it's not as easy. There's technically a way. You could do it with Valor and double negative combo as well, which is a really cool one where like you jump, go into Valor, double negative combo lets you do your aerial finisher, which keeps you in the air for like a second or two, and then you revert from Valor. It's so cool. There's so many ways that people have learned to do this over the years, and it's so much fun watching someone like come up with a new option. Let's see. Wisdom, fire, reflect, revert. Wisdom, fire, reflect, revert. And then pause. He can use a drive recovery. He only has one.
Wait.
It didn't use it. Oh, you didn't use it. Ooh.
Alright. We'll give this one more shot.
Yeah, if we die, it'll reset the room to before we had entered, and that should give him his drive back. But yeah, that was close. I don't know why that drive recovery didn't get used. Oh, so either you can die or the gate can die. So if you jump up in the air and fly over, Sean Yu will hit it, and you don't want to pick up the orbs because that restores the gate's health. So there he goes. So now he can try again.
Alright.
You got it this time.
Should be able to do
it
it with 3 wisdom forms.
Let's go. Give me strength.
It used it this time.
Light.
And he got
That was
over!
close.
That was
very
really close. It's an invisible wall, so you can't see it, but I know where that height is, and that was really just towing the line there. Hopefully it's in here. If it's not in here, we're in trouble.
A little bit.
There, nice. Well done. Good call.
So, unfortunately,
Both experience boosts.
yes. But the thing that it's locked in Land of Dragons 2 was not found, so we're gonna have to go back.
Oh boy.
But we do have experience boosts and once more.
Are you gonna want to level? Or are you gonna try it with just once more?
I'm gonna want my drive back, so let's level a little bit.
Okay. All right. That is the other thing. If you are new and you're unsure about Rando and you're worried about the difficulty, you can always farm levels. It's a JRPG. You can make it as easy as you want if you farm. And we have settings. You're supposed to, a lot of times we'll take the items off of them because sometimes you want to be below a certain amount of health, like for EXP boost. And they're just too nice. They're too friendly, and they want you to be healthy. And you gotta say, no, I'm making decisions for myself, Dad. Like, I don't need you to tell me what's good for me, right? It's something, you gotta let me be a man, you know? It's just, again, it's not directly quite here, but...
So I'm using this opportunity to level a little bit and get my drive back. Because as you saw, we used my last drive recovery.
I just want to reiterate, this is not as easy as Zach is making this look at all.
Let's go.
Like, my goodness, these nobody swarms are pretty tough to take on, and Zach's just like running through them as if they're nothing.
Okay. I have some better stats.
Go! I believe in you.
I think you've got it.
I also can not die as easily. So.
I think you've got it this time.
Oh.
You've got easy money right now.
Oh yeah.
Show me your strength. That's enough.
It's over. Yeah. Take this. Yeah, this is it.
So he's about to enter phase 2, I believe.
Give in to the dark.
Here come the orbs. You use reflect to push them away because they will follow you around. He's going straight into fire, using Trinity Limit to protect himself. He can't take damage while he's doing this, and it means Sephiroth is stuck in it afterwards. You can see he's doing a lot of damage because his strength is so high. Hit into the air. He's just going to take it. Once more is going to keep him alive.
Dark. That's enough.
Going into limit form, blocking the... Oh my god, okay. Okay, straight into phase 3.
Shall be one with me.
There.
Give in to the dark.
Phase 3 is just phase 2, but he's going to move around faster. Believe you're going to be fine.
This is it.
As long as he can keep him in this afterwards. Uh-oh.
Let's go.
I think he's got it.
Oh my gosh, the clench.
Woo. Well done.
Oh man.
Okay.
You just need to be able to tank a hit.
You just need to be able to take a hit.
Yep. Wow. That was really awesome, Zach. Thank you.
Well done.
All right. We finally got the thing here.
Wait.
Got our page.
What? You know, Winnie
That
the
is our first torn page.
Pooh.
What is going on with
Oh
this
my
seed?
gosh. Poor Winnie the Pooh. Could you imagine? No one's getting that torn page normally. Poor friend.
Right, yeah.
Just wants to see his friends, and Sephiroth says, no friends.
Oh, look.
Oh!
Big chest.
There.
There it is. Roof of Peace.
Well, there it is.
Oh,
guess
we
we're
gotta go back. He was hiding air combo boost. Oh my god.
Hi, Piglet.
Hi,
We
Piglet.
went from Sephiroth to this. Can you believe it, chat?
So, in the vein of rando speedrunners are very impatient, we have doubled the speed of all of the mini games because we don't want to sit through them the entire time. So you'll see this one's going a bit faster than normal. The honey slider one will go faster as well. The only one that's not sped up is technically the Tigger's, but that'd be really difficult if it was going twice the speed, so that's probably why. Yeah, you can just sit right in the spot and spin.
Yep.
And then Piglet's gonna show up out of nowhere. You say hi, and you're good to go.
All right. Let's go talk to the mushrooms.
Back where we came from.
Zach, I got the main feed pulled up, and just you bobbing to the Winnie the Pooh minigame music is making my day. Oh my gosh, I didn't.
And guess what?
What?
We're going back.
Again.
Oh my gosh.
I think this is going to happen for a little bit here because we need to there's so many checks that are left, but 5 of them are pages. So are there more pages in 100 Acre Wood we're going to pick up as well? Is it we're going to be here for a bit?
No, actually.
No? Wow.
We're going to go
He's
beast
got-
nest.
Oh boy.
Ooh. Now, Zach just wanted to listen to the Winnie the Pooh theme. You know how this goes,
Yeah.
Halios.
We had to listen to One Wing Angel. Now we can listen to this.
Yeah, it's a banger. I'm not going to complain.
Oh yeah, in this version it's a banger. I remember suffering in Kingdom Hearts 1 to this minigame theme. It was so mean. Whee! Alright, I do like
It's double speed as well. He's been done it so many times. His muscle memory now.
Oh yeah.
So if you're having problems with this minigame, you can grab Gopher, hold left.
Oh nice.
It'll work every time.
All right, chat. Here's the pro gamer strats to Winnie the Pooh Honey Slider. You gotta get Gopher. You gotta hold left. Just keep holding left. They can't stop you. Gopher's gonna take that hit for you. Okay, you're gonna fly through 5 of those. What even are they? Are they bee nests? I don't know. But yeah, look at this. Hold left. Keep Gopher. Go right through them. You win.
Wow. Gotta love Gopher there. That's nice.
He is our best friend.
All right, Beast Castle. So we have tourney limit.
Oh, we're gonna cheat.
Let's go.
We need to do a lot of hits to end this fight. Trinity does a lot of hits.
A lot of hits. It's like 80 hits.
All right, so I'm going to take the approach of skipping a lot of chests now. I'm not going to go out of my way. I will pick up things that are in front of me that look like they might be useful. But I basically have everything I would want. I say that, and then I go immediately for these out of the way.
It's hard to break the muscle memory.
Yeah. I just want to collect all the things.
Yeah.
Item boost is not bad. Alright, so another thing Rando did. The wardrobe will not wake up. So you just
normally
press triangle over and over.
Normally she like stops sleeping and you have to wait a couple of seconds and then she'll go back to sleep. And if you press it too quickly and you wake her up, she hits you and she walks back over to where she was. And sometimes you just want to mash.
I'm going to try to one cycle with limit for him here.
Yeah, this boss, normally you break it, you get
Oh, I don't have to
the
drive, never mind.
ghost out, and then it has, when it gets to half health, it goes back in, and you do it again. If you get one hit that's big enough, you can get it to 0 before it actually technically hits the health barrier, and you can just one cycle it. But we didn't have a chance to this time because our drive page was too long.
Yeah, we used the drive on Sephiroth, and I have not gotten it back yet.
Yeah.
That's okay. Let's see. You. Okay, we're still doing the first visit to Beast Castle. We know that the visit unlock is not here. So we have to get into the second visit, so we're just trying to get through all the story content.
So what is left right now in terms of worlds that we have to complete?
So let's see. We have not entered Port Royal. We need to finish Disney Castle
I think
and
this will do the
Twilight.
trick.
I think those are the major things left.
Yeah.
There's some more 100 Acre Wood, more forms to level. I think that's it.
Yeah, we're pretty close. And the world that never was is already done.
I think this will do the
So,
trick.
you know, these will be going by pretty quickly. Depends on how late the check is in the worlds.
Yeah.
Huh.
Okay, card break is good. Alright, so this fight, usually you would have to hit Beast over and over, use the Cogsworth RC to kind of cycle through. We have Reflect.
And he's gone. I will do it.
Compose yourself.
I'm not even sure if in the base game you can do all the charges in one go. I think it has to like...
Once you get Cogsworth going, you can do it all in one go.
Oh.
But you have to get Beast HP down, which is not
It's
as...
a lot. It's a bit more difficult. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if people are coming in and kind of confused on like what this counter is, this is a chain logic seed, a Kingdom Hearts 2 randomizer. The chain here is a series of breadcrumb unlocks that the game is kind of feeding to us, telling us where to go and when to get there.
Yeah.
We have to do everything kind of in that order that the game tells us. Fun fact, you can't get hit by that on the PC version.
Just no hitbox for it.
Yeah, it just isn't.
I didn't even know that. Thunder makes this really nice. Normally he'd have to go into the wall and he'd do a big explosion thing, and then he comes out and he goes back into another section of the room, and you're just having to cycle through them. This is phase 2 of the fight, technically. He starts out invisible, and you can do a step vault to hit him with the chandelier and make him visible, but we're, rando runners. We don't need to wait. We just go. Go! He's gone.
People say a lot about like Jack's limits, or like Tron's limit. Beast's limit is not bad.
Yeah, once you get them stuck in it, it's a lot of small hits, and that minimum damage that you can do is just like gone.
Alright, so we're in the second visit of Beast Castle now. So now we could potentially get the unlock that's here.
Rain, it's not. It's all. I shouldn't have said that. Oh god.
It's all your fault now.
I know, I'm sorry. That's my bad. There's 2 checks on Beast, I believe.
Yep.
You just gotta talk to him, gotta be his friend, tell him everything's gonna be alright, and he's like, cool bro, I'm back.
Yep. Then there are 3 checks on Zaldin, and there's 1 check on Data Zaldin.
Data Zaldin, please. We do not speak that name.
I mean, it's already cursed.
Oh boy.
Alright.
Data Zaldin, in my opinion, is the hardest data.
Goofy! Come on!
Because he has some very weird mechanics with his wind shield. I don't know about you, Zach, but he's not at all like in my top 10. And there's only 13, 12, 11. Boy, I don't ask me. I shouldn't say.
So let's make sure I have the reaction boost I found here on. Sure, fine. Do I have another one? No. Alright. Oh, I should have checked for Duck Flare. I haven't checked for that in a while.
Where's the fun in this? Please, stop me.
Duck Flare's probably the most... Not probably. Actually is the most broken limit in the game. I mean, even when you consider, like, the party member ones, the fact that you can continue to control Sora with it while it's going, and it lasts really long on the PC version, or, like, on the ports in particular. So, like, it's just so usable. It makes you invincible while it's up. It's out for, like, 20 seconds, and it does a ton of damage, and it locks into place, and hopefully we get a chance to show it off if we do have it already. But yeah, the unique part of Zaldin's fight is that you get jump, just like a Final Fantasy ability from like Dragoon, which is what weapons are based off of. And there's Final Form and Fantasia. Nice.
Yeah. All right. So we don't have to fight Data Zaldin.
Thank God.
But now we need to level Final Form.
Or the other forms to...
Or the other forms to 6.
6, yeah.
So
Final Form's
first.
Final Form's fairly easy to level up here, thankfully. There's like a big set of nobodies on the second little area here, first one. I think you'd have to do it... I don't know what the multiplier we have on, but you have to do it at least twice, I assume.
Yeah.
Or not. You could probably defeat some on the way up and you'll be fine.
Also low on drive, so I probably just want to reset right now.
Yeah, don't, because you don't have a drive recovery, do you?
I don't have any. No. I can
That's
probably buy
weird.
some, but...
Yeah.
Alright. Going into this data door will reset the world, so we're gonna do that really quick.
Yeah, the enemies will reset based off of the number of rooms away you are. That data door technically takes you to like another world essentially, so it counts as being as far as you need to be. It's something that you would see more often used in like TT3 in the mansion, because the mansion has so many doors, and you can go back and forth in the mansion and level up there by going like far enough into like another room. But you know, here there's a pretty long hallways, so the easiest way is just go there. And we got torn pages. That's so lucky. That's actually really good.
These torn pages have been in the most awkward of places.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, no, there's 5 of them, and each one is necessary for the chain logic, so they end up being in like the weirdest locations just to force the seed to like go off longer.
What did Pooh ever do to anyone? Like, I just feel bad for the bear.
Yeah.
You're right. Every time he comes around, someone's like, I hate this book. I can't believe this.
I'm just gonna tear a picture out of this one.
I'm gonna put the page on this planet and I'm gonna put it on another one. You can't stop me.
What fun.
Listen, Pooh's in the public
49.
domain now.
That's
Is that the
really
fastest? Is that speedrunner
That's, I
time?
think the current fastest that we can get on that minigame.
nice.
Nice.
All right, so we got ice cream, which sends us to Twilight Town 3.
Okay. We did TT2 so early in this seed. I had completely forgotten we'd already done it.
Mm-hmm. Right, so I'm kind of just looking at the chests, seeing if there's anything good in them.
The chest visuals is really like benefiting us a lot here, especially as we get later in the seed. Again, from a speedrunner perspective, you want to save as much time as possible. And opening the chest, you gotta stop, you gotta open it. We got Sword of the Ancestor, that's for LOD.
Yep. So we have to go back there.
Because we didn't get it in the skip. So technically speaking, I don't think we mentioned it earlier, the throne room is part of LOD 2. We could have technically gotten the unlock item from LOD 2 in there if it was there at the time, which would technically break the chain logic. We'd be ahead in the chain than where we should be. It's a little disappointing that we didn't get it. It would have been nice just to speed up. I guess we could have skipped a fair amount, huh? Although Form 7 would be a problem.
Yeah.
So maybe it wouldn't have mattered in the end, but
So yeah, that's where that load zone was.
yeah, it's just a big invisible wall right in front of that staircase. But yeah, Sean Yu's got 2 phases. Starts normal. You get him to half health. Then he turns into like Shadow Sean Yu, Power of the Heartless to be evil and stuff. During that phase, he's got 2 things he can do. He can go up and spin in the air, and it's kind of hard to like do stuff to him there, or he can directly attack you from afar, like a lunge. But as you can see, Zach doesn't care what he does. He's just got him.
We have Final Form.
Yeah, Final Form is now giving us the freedom to do whatever we want. It is called Final Form for a reason. So now we have to fight the mysterious hooded man, who's definitely not your best friend Riku in the body of your sworn enemy Ansem. That's for sure.
Yeah, definitely not that.
Definitely not that. That would be really weird. I don't know why that would happen.
It's over.
He's actually got a ton of defense. He doesn't take damage.
This is it.
He's got like really high resistances. So he's actually kind of a pain, even when you're over leveled. But as you can see, I mean, we have what is that like? The combination boost. Yeah, which just makes Trinity limit even better. Those green shoes, man, those are something. Green, blue. I'm colorblind.
Donald.
I'm gonna bring Donald into the party so we can use Group Trinity in this fight.
Yeah, Trinity will change depending on if you're in a party or not. The solo one is just Sora like flying at people, throwing his Keyblade, and when you're in a group, it does the big one we saw in like Beast Castle. It pulls everything in. It's really great for like large like groups.
So yeah, what we can do is we can throw a magnet up, use Trinity in order, push the enemies with this magnet, do a lot of hits, and they should kill.
Oh yeah. Magnet is a wonderful ability with Trinity because it does like Trinity is trying to bring them in, Magnet's trying to bring them in, and you just see them like shaking, making a milkshake out of Heartless.
Yeah. Wait.
Can't imagine they taste very good.
Gather. Gather.
Oh yeah, this, I mean, you're just doing so much damage. At a certain point in time, a lot of these group Heartless fight become like Magnet Explosion, Magnet Finishing Leap. Because you're doing so much damage, it'll kill most enemies, especially outside of like the world that never was. Why do we get to fight this guy? So, his whole thing is that he's flying, and he's trying to get you off his back. And he'll like throw, he'll try to shoot you with thunder, with lightning. He'll do like flips to make you fall off. Each horn is a different hitbox, so using Final Fire here is really good because it hits both. So you're doing double damage, which you can see his health is just absolutely draining. Now, if you stay holding on to his horn there, he actually can't knock you off. So you can extend your time up here with that, which is really, really useful. You also saw that he was using an item there to get his mana back, but also an item will... Oh my god, you're going to do the superhero stance kill, aren't you?
Again with the
Well.
turn page on the awkward boss.
Yeah. But yeah, and using an item causes the Keyblades to spin around, and those do damage, so you're doing extra damage on an item. It's like super optimal.
Yeah.
Back into
Spooky Cave.
here. Yeah, Spooky Cave, you have to essentially like guide your friends through the cave to find Pooh, because he's sad and he's alone and he needs his pals. But there's also some chests here. So, I don't know, are you going to leave them and then go get the chests, or are you going to just bring them with you the whole time?
I'm just going to bring them with.
Yeah, some people will run in and pick up every chest and then restart the area to then bring them out all at once. Other people, like right now, you can bring them with you and just do it all in one go. I'm not really sure if either one is particularly faster than the other.
If you don't think you have to do Starry Hill, it's a little more greedy to go and get the chest first. But since I know I have to do Starry Hill at some point, I think it's just faster to do it while you're getting the chest.
Yeah, in like a regular rando run, there's a chance that you don't need to go any farther. Yeah, there he is. We've saved him.
Alright.
What do we pick up here? Is it on the pop-up?
That's what we picked up.
Well then, that is going to lead us to Lingering Will.
Yes, it is. So we are approaching the super boss. One of the hardest ones. But we got to do all the story stuff in Disney Castle first.
Yeah, you got to get... So you have to get through Disney Castle regular, then you have to go through Timeless River, and that enables you to do Lingering Will. It also enables, like, Data Marluxia. I guess Silhouette Marluxia. Because that uses the throne room, or the area under it, to...
Also, I like how you talked over pushing the mouse.
I'm sorry. We did push the mouse. Instead of having her follow you and calling for her, you can put her up against the wall and just keep running. And if you're... That was actually a really good mouse push. I'm so sorry. It's not easy because she slides off all the time and the hitbox is really weird. So that was super clean. We'll just have to do it again, I guess.
This way.
Maybe next time.
This way. Let's go.
This room is...
This way.
You run forward,
Let's go.
you trigger Faith, she blows them away, and then you keep running forward.
Let's go.
Using Faith is technically the right option, just because if you don't, she ends up like attacking them or they attack her and then she retaliates and you're kind of stuck. So even though Faith feels like it's kind of slow, like having to stop and use it every time, it ends up saving you a fair amount of headache, because she won't listen to you.
You don't want Minnie to use the Pearl attack. That just takes a lot more time if she doesn't move when she does it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone called this world the public domain in chat, and I chuckled a bit.
Yep. Hey, there's light and darkness.
Oh,
I could
finally.
have had that very early.
Yeah. As part of the chain logic, though, is like you kind of don't. You feel like you don't want to go and do all the like open content because it just feels like antithetical to the idea of like I want to do them in the order they're provided to me. But again, you know, it's all dependent on your play style and how comfortable you are with the content. Like you can make it as difficult as you want, or you can go and get everything and then come back and make it very easy. It's all up to you.
So doing a little quick inspection of these chests.
Air dodge is nice. Just more movement is always a good
I'm a
thing.
little bit worried about my movement for Terra, but I think we're fine.
Let's see here.
Let's go.
So, yeah, go for it.
Gather.
Since I know that I'm gonna potentially have to get a Form 7 to get a visit unlock, I'm gonna level my drives when I can, because even though we're missing Master as the last one, Master might not have the unlock. It might be a Form 7 of any of the others. So getting these leveled is a good idea whenever I can. So yeah, we're just kind of going through the story. We have a lot more of the tools that we would not have.
Let's go.
Like
Gather.
Wisdom Form, Reflect,
Gather.
Bandaga. Bandaga just makes these fights trivial.
So how has this gone overall, Zach, compared to other chain logic seeds you've played?
Light.
I
Gather.
think this is about average.
Okay.
I kind of wish I didn't have to like leave Sephiroth for a little bit, but I don't think I've done a lot of extra content. So I think this has been a very like I said average. It's probably about above average. Probably not the best one, but it's above average.
Later, loser.
I forgot Pete made that gesture.
You must I can't take anymore.
What I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna throw a magnet up,
Gather.
and while that is up, it'll do some extra damage while we're hitting the boss here. That usually will take away a cycle. Easy.
Very easy.
Or
So we have this, then we have Terra. That's going to
What's
give
that
us.
for?
That's going to give us a page. I'll go ahead and spoil it for everyone. So Terra has our last homepage.
how do you know about that? Did you I know some
It's on the track.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
What's that?
I've been trying to keep it a surprise for chat.
This is it.
But we're getting toward the end.
Yeah. Well, since you're running through here, I don't recall this being like too terribly intense. I want to make sure y'all get any shout outs that you'd like to have, just so we don't forget at the end.
Yeah. Alios, if you have shoutouts, you can go ahead.
Boy, do I have any? Other than, you know, the new
Get out of my way!
tourney that's coming up for Fresh Faces.
If you want to set up the randomizer, there's all the information on cage2rando.com,
Yes.
including links to the Discord, to get tech support from Alios.
Yep, that's where I'll be. But yeah, the cage2render.com is the best place to go for everything. You've got guides, you've got information about the randomizer, how to use it, what the settings do. We have pictures and stuff for how to use like our external trackers and the timers and all that stuff. It's definitely the go-to place for all the information you'll ever need. And if you can't find it there, it'll be on our Discord.
All right, I'm gonna give this one non-cheese attempt, maybe two. But if we can't, we'll just double negative combo.
This is one of the few battles I never did, because I only had Kingdom Hearts 2. I never had Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix. So how would you describe this battle, Helios? I'm not going to ask Zach. Zach's kind of got his hands full right now, just a tad.
Yeah, so this fight is even harder than Sephiroth to fully, like, pin down. He's got a lot of different abilities that he can choose between and a lot of different phases. The first one that you saw there is using the bike phase. I don't know what he's doing. He's supposed to stop. He's supposed to get off the bike, give you a second or two to hit him, and then go. But he was like, nah, I'm going to go straight into every other ability I own all at the same time, because that's Terra. You essentially have to, it's going to be random what he starts with. You have to react to it. And then...
That was a good start, I just got hit.
Yeah, once he hits the ground, you get to go. He has a really, really high revenge value. And the way that he actually takes damage is that the more hits you do within that period, the more damage it starts dealing to him. And so he acts differently than all the other bosses in the game like that. It's very unique. But you saw there, he did the like orb gun attack. He's gonna do a spin when he hits oh my god. A revenge value. And then he will have to, go away, try not to get hit by that, and then restart that process. Here he's doing, if any of these arrows hit you, it'll like stun you, and he's gonna start draining your health, and you have to hit an option in the command menu that's flying around too fast to actually like read it. It's a mess. Anytime he hits you with anything, it's essentially over.
So I think I was miscounting. It's okay. We're gonna go over to the cheese.
There is nothing wrong with doing cheese on Terra. He is absolutely worth cheesing.
What kind of cheese do you like?
Well, the only cheese I have access to is double naked combo.
Oh, I was talking about like actual cheese.
Oh,
Parmesan. It's the only
I'm a
answer
pepper
to
jack
that one.
person.
You're a pepper jack person? Alright.
It starts with P, it's close enough, I'll take it. So the real issue here is getting him into negative combo. He did get lucky with the orb. Oh no, he dropped it though. But that's okay, because he can get right back into it after this. So, like we've said with the other bosses, double negative combo works by hitting him into a stun animation. You can see how long his knockback animation is here, and you just keep doing it. And you can see the damage is getting higher as he hits him more up to this point. And what's going to happen is it's going to get to his next like health barrier phase. He's going to have to hit through that, and then it's going to continue again. And as long as he times this right, he can go all of the way without letting Terra respond. So really, it's just a waiting game and being consistent on your jumps. If you jump too late or too early, then you're going to do like an aerial dodge, or you're going to be too slow to actually get the next hit in. If you mash the attack button, you're going to do an extra finisher, and that's going to get him out of the loop as well. So it looks very straightforward, and it looks, quote-unquote simple, but really, you have to be very focused. And me talking through this is probably not helping him very much, I'll be honest. I believe he's in the last phase now. It's going well. If Terra hit any of the rocks that were lying around, it would kind of mess up his animation and actually break the combo. So by keeping him in this like circular motion, there he goes. He gets all the way there.
GG, Zach, that was so cool.
Yeah, well done.
Wow.
And he had a torn page.
Of course he did. Of course! Sephiroth and Terra had torn pages. Oh my god.
They're not going to make it easy.
That's
not
evil.
to eat that bear.
Yeah, so apologies for being at 1 health the entire time there and had to hear the low health.
It just increases the tension.
Rewarded with a yeet of a bear. I'm still gonna yeet.
But can you get maximum points?
I will try.
Optimal yeetage.
Nope.
We take those.
Oh, heck yeah! Yeet. Bear has been
Yeet.
yeeted.
Hey, look,
And we
I'm
got a magnet for it too.
Of
See, it was
course.
worth it, all in the end.
Of course. What a silly seed.
So what's left, Zach? What do we have?
So we have to level Master Form to get skill and crossbones, and then do Port Royal. That's what we got left, and then finish the game.
All right.
So, Drive Converter, that's what I want.
So leveling master, there's a couple ways to do it. The way that Zach's going to do here is drive converter turns all money dropped into drive orbs, and drive orbs is how you level at master form. He's going to spawn in these gamblers here, and they're going to do a mini game that will normally drop a lot of money when you win. Instead, they're going to drop drive orbs, and he's going to gain a bunch of levels all at once. And he got skill and crossbones immediately on, I think that's level 4.
Yep, level 4. So
Nice.
we didn't have to drive roulette at all, so
Well done.
we're done with that. We can just move on to the next thing.
That blue looks really good on that form.
Yeah.
I'm just I want that color baseline.
All right, so we finished Port Royal. The last proof is here, and we can finish this up.
It
I'm
will
looking
be
at the time on the stream. I don't think we're hitting 220.
That's okay. I'm not gonna mercy kill you. Like, we're good. We're good. You're on a show where that doesn't happen, so no worries.
Okay. I know we're kind of on a schedule.
I love this song so much. I gotta put my favorite music emote in chat for "He's a Pirate." Such a great song. Where are you?
Which one do
Unless
you
it's
like
some
better,
jam
this
emotes in
one
chat.
or the MIDI version?
Probably this one.
I think this one's better as well. It's just too good. The MIDI one has its charm, but like they redid it for the plus.
Gather.
Probably stop picking these up.
Yeah, you probably don't have those in there.
Sorry, it's the way you said it.
I don't need these things. I just
But-
need Terra.
But they're free.
They're right there. They're shiny.
It's like a dragon getting like new gems. It's like mine. Yes. I don't need it, but it's mine.
Yeah.
So we got a minute here. Horse fight. Can't do anything about it.
This is where Zach gets like a 221 after making that whole thing about, oh yeah, this ain't gonna 220.
Well, it's at least 4 minutes in final. Now, I could get super lucky and get the proof like early in Port Royal 2, but I'm also expecting to have to fight Grim Reaper.
Let's not talk about it.
that
We just
I don't like that
yeah.
fight.
At least we got master form beforehand.
Light.
If we do have to do the fight, I can go over like the right way to do it, quote unquote. Like
It's over.
it is definitely one of the more
Yeah.
time, you know, taking up ones.
Take this. Light. Yeah. Ha, take this.
I mean, Port Royal is
It's kind of-
normally yeah, go for it.
Kind of just messing around there.
Yeah, this world's normally it's a fairly high battle level, but they're very weak to magic.
Thunder.
So if you can get the minimum required magic to like do more damage, it's actually a pretty good place to gain EXP, especially with the minute fight like forcing you to sort of farm them for a bit. And you have to defeat a lot of them for. Did the reflect miss because you were in the form or in the summoning stitch?
Yeah, when you start a summon, it will like negate any attacks you're doing.
I've never seen that before.
Yeah.
Also, I wanted to talk about that event specifically. He made it look a lot easier than it is, but you have to manually be swapping who you're targeting in order to keep the lock-on going. So you have to use your magic and swap them before they die. Otherwise, you drop lock-on and you have to re-lock on to someone new. So he's able to speed up that process by just manually changing the target mid, like, spell. It's really cool when it actually goes off correctly.
Also, we have Max Glide, so we're just kind of zooming through.
This is faster than you'd get in the base game. This is... well, technically, it's Final Forms level 4 on base Sora.
Oh, this is interesting. This fight usually causes people a lot of problems in like a beginner phase. Just send them to the moon.
Goodbye! Everyone wave goodbye!
Hi.
Oh! You can use Magnet and Thunder to have him land back on the magnet, and it'll infinitely like pull him back in and just drain his health.
Alright. We can get this last proof at any moment.
Hopefully one of the sooner moments.
Yes.
Yeah, we're just so strong now.
Yep.
Even part 2, this is one of the last worlds on battle levels outside of the world that ever was, and they just explode with Thundaga and so much magic. It does let you feel very powerful. The randomizer allows you to play the game in a way that like just obliterates a lot of these enemies and a lot of these bosses if you know like what you need. Just look at how much damage it does. Every thunder is like a quarter of a bar, if not more. Straight into final fight. He's dead. Like it's gone. The Keyblades like saw bleeding up and down from that ability. The animations for like final form are just crazy.
Okay.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, oh my god, there it is.
Found it.
Awesome.
Alright.
And
We are in go mode.
now that we have all 3, we can enter the final door, and it's just all 5 of these fights we have to get through for the final fights.
I'm just gonna glide through.
Yeah. So it's actually faster to glide than it is to do the reaction command, even though the reaction command is like super cool, and he jumps through the buildings and doesn't look at them as they fall apart behind him. It's great. But it's optimal to glide through them because you don't have to wait for all the animations. You just go. Still get to see it once. Still just as cool.
Gather. Give me strength. Hurrah!
You use Stitch for infinite MP here.
If he behaves, which
Gather.
he's not behaving. Stitch.
Gather.
Buddy, pal, friend, amigo. Thank you. Oh my god. Sometimes he just looks at you and he's like, what do you want? What do you want? Say please.
Gather.
He acts like Stitch actually would, I think. I think it's very on brand.
Gather.
I'm walking to the corner here to reduce the area that the enemies can spawn in so they can hit this back.
Yeah, they'll spawn within an area around Sora, so if you're in the center, they can kind of like spread out too much. Keeping them in the corner is definitely the right way to go about it if you want them to stay near you. Now we have the energy core. It's going to be 3 phases. He's got to get it to a low enough health. It'll go invincible and it'll spawn some more enemies. He's just going to magnet and thunder them. It's so big, and Stitch is going to give him the mana he needs to spam it. Phase 2, going to spawn even more of them. He's just going to thunder and magnet because why not?
Thunder.
There's one more in the corner. They're a little mean. They can go underground. Makes them invincible.
Back off. Give me strength.
He's going to go into final form immediately because Armor Zemnis 1 is
Don't
weak.
blink.
Oh yeah, he's gone. I'm not even talking through this one. I'll just let you watch. And he's gone. He's very weak to magic. is all I can say.
Yes.
And he doesn't seem to have a damage cap for some reason.
Yeah.
It's like his damage cap wasn't set correctly. He just takes all of it. This is Armor Zemnis 2. You get him to a certain amount of health. He pushes you back. You fly through, and you have Riku ride a building into the dragon. It's crazy.
You think they were stretching on that one a little bit?
I mean, I'm not gonna say no. You know, like I'm gonna accept it and be very happy with it. You know, as a kid, this game is a year away from its 20-year anniversary now.
Oh no! Don't tell me
And
that.
I know. I remember playing this when it came out, and I'm like, I'm not that old. That can't be right.
No. We're not that old. No way.
But damn, it was cool. It was cool. Nomura knows what he's doing. This just reflects. He's gone.
Beautiful.
He's weak to magic. Now we go into Zebra Man.
Anger and hate.
He's going to reflect at the start here in order to not get grabbed. And then he's going to use the reversals to stay near him and reflect on every other time he shows up, because the other one is a fake copy. You can see his health just draining from the reflex as he hits them on his way in. That should bring him straight into laser phase? Almost?
The last reflect.
Ah, missed. Well, once he gets another hit in, if he decides to be nice with him down, he can be a little mean on actually starting a combo here. Oh, the explosion put him into laser phase. He was going to essentially skip it with limit form, but it just did enough damage. Now, in Rando, you can skip the DM with the dome and all the lasers if you don't get his health too low. What he has to do here is essentially, again, like we've done with the other bosses, not give him any room to breathe once he starts his final combo. So he goes into session, targeting the real one. Now all he has to do is get enough damage in to empty his health before this ends. And I think he's gonna get it.
Right.
Well done. GG's.
GG. So, I was close to what your ending time's gonna be.
Yeah, you were.
See?
You were.
Perfect.
Been doing.
To be fair,
What?
it did give us the item early.
Okay, that's fair.
It was all part of the plan. It was all accounted for.
Calculated.
He is a robot.
Yes, definitely.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, that was a very good seed, all things considered, I think.
221
Oh,
on the
great.
dot. If we were on The Price is Right, I would have just won $500. I want to make that record known, okay? I did not go over.
Well done.
So sorry, go ahead. Any other last minute shout outs here as we're closing out RNG for the evening?
I just want to shout out Alios one more time for being one of the first friends I met in playing KH2 Rando, and just being able to have you kind of be here on this hotfix run with me is very, very special to me. So I want to thank you for doing that.
Yeah, of course, my dude. I mean, we're like, you know, some of the earliest people like to start participating, and I'm so glad that we've been able to provide outlets for people to play and experience this to the fullest. And it's just been wonderful. Thank you so much.
And again, I want to thank y'all for being on here. This was a wild and fun episode. I'm sorry that you had to go through some of that, Zach. My show is cursed. I didn't want to tell you that before you got on here, but there are some cursed elements to the show. So thank you so much for being a good sport through it all.
Yeah, this was fun.
And be sure to give both Zach and Alios a follow. There's both of their Twitch links one more time. And of course, I do want to remind you all, this is not the end of our GDQ Hotfix programming for this evening. So a couple reminders here. Awesome Games Done Quick 2024 starts this weekend, Sunday, January 14th. Come watch a week of runs broadcast live from Pittsburgh, PA, benefiting the Prevent Cancer Foundation. Also, your subs, Prime Gaming subs, gift subs, and bits shared on the GDQ Twitch channel help support Games Done Quick Hotfix. If you enjoy watching speedruns daily, consider subscribing to the channel. And again, we have some more fantastic programming coming up right after this break. Stay tuned for Time Capsule. Take it away, Tippy.